Parshat Shemini, Parshat Shemini of David Feinstein has an absolutely pashit, obvious, but those type of ideas sometimes are the ones that you need to point out. The name of the parsha is quite unique. Vahiba Yoim Hashmini. It was on the 8th day. What happened on the 8th day? The 8th day was in reality inauguration day. This was the first day that the Mishkan was going to be used for real. Obviously, the Mishkan was being used for the previous 7 days. A little practice run, I guess we'll call it spring training of sorts. They started. And we all know what happened on that day was supposed to be probably Aaron HaKohen's crowning day. He's finally being the Kohen Gadol. Unfortunately, it ended in disaster. Nadav and Avihu, they go and they offer their sacrifice. But we know Vayidoim Aharon. Aaron was quiet, his incredible gadlus. But let's just begin. Rav David Feinstein says, why do we call it the 8th day? No, it's true, it was the 8th day, but really it was the first day. It's not by Yom HaShmini. There were 7 days that they inaugurated the Mishkan, and now it's Vahiba Yom Harishon. Now it's the first day. It almost would be as ridiculous as you start the beginning the regular season, and the first game you win, and what are you? You're 11-5 because we're counting. What are you doing? That was all training. That was practice. It wasn't Aaron. It was Moshe. He put it up. He took it down. Says Rav David Feinstein, such an obvious, simple, but yet a telling vart. In Yiddishkeit, it's not the way it works. We don't just turn the page. We start something new. Now it's the first day. Vahi b'yom harishayin. Absolutely not. The hachana is of paramount importance. You only get to inauguration day if there was a Moshe Rabbeinu that spent the prior 7 days putting up the Mishkan and taking it down and bringing the requisite karbanos for those days. Now everything is ready. Now Aaron HaKohen comes in. It's not, oh, here comes the king. They tested everything. They made sure everything was perfect. The stage is set for him. The food is ready. Okay, all the workers that prepared for the last who knows how long to set up this day, that's irrelevant. Today is the day when it's the grand day, opening day. Absolutely not. Says Rav David, Vahi Bayoim Hashmini. It's one of those varts that I think, from when I heard this, you hear the name, you hear the parsha. What's this week's parsha? Parsha Shemini. It reminds us it's the 8th day. Every day beforehand is so important, and we have to realize that. And if we realize that, you know what will happen? Aside from the fact that we'll give credit where credit is due, which itself is important, but we'll start to understand that the achana is critical in life. You learn Sharon B'Tfilah, you want to talk about achana. Sharon B'Tfilah of Shimshon Pincus talks about davening. And he says before you daven, you have to prepare. And he says this isn't a nice musar vart. This isn't an interesting idea to make sure you have kavana, that you know what you're doing, you want to be there on time to davening. No, he says it's a Sifin Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch, our entire tefillah is set up in a mannerism that we don't just walk into Shemini Esrei. Ever wonder? Every single tefillah has something before Shemini Esrei. Even Mincha, that thing called Ashrei. You know, you show up a few minutes late and you just dive right into Shemini Esrei. It says in Shimshon Pincus, you're missing the whole point. What's Ashrei? Ashrei is laying the foundation. Ashrei is a form of Psukkah Zimra. It's a form of Achana. Because anytime you walk into the king, you have to be mechen, you have to prepare yourself beforehand. We remind ourselves, Vayhi b'yom hashmini. It's not the first day, it's the 8th day. And we'll conclude with, at the very end of the Barsha, a very famous pasuk. Viskadishtem v'yisem kedoshim. Says the pasuk, and you should be holy, and then you will be holy. You sanctify yourself and you'll be holy. A little bit repetitive, says the Kli Yakar, quoting the very famous Gemara in Shabbos, Haba l'taher misayin in loy. When you try to do the right thing, Hashem helps you. Perhaps if we put the beginning of the parsha with the end of the parsha together, maybe we can realize this might be where a lot of our faults lie. Maybe it's because we're always beginning on Yom Harishon, and we're lacking in the Haba l'taher. We're lacking in the hachana prior. We're lacking in the ratzah and the desire, the trying, the setting it up. And we're lacking in HaKadosh Baruch Hu helping us. Maybe if we realize it's Yom HaShmini, there were 7 days beforehand to get to this day. There were all the steps necessary to get to opening day. Then you walk into opening day. Then you're at the inauguration. Then you have HaKadosh Baruch Hu helping you along the way. And as we're about to begin Hilchos Pesach, I think the Seder is the quintessential example of this. We know the Seder stands at the climax of the world. It's supposed to be Zman Cheruseinu, the night that we give over the Messiah. It's supposed to be this most beautiful, majestic evening. How do you get there? How do you get there? You get there with a chana. You get there with preparing beforehand. The Seder is in a Yom HaRishon, to Yom HaShleishim. With 30 days beforehand, whether it's learning the halachas, whether it's cleaning in the right mindset, whether it's preparing. There's a halacha that the week beforehand we read the Haggadah, says the Shmuel Kamenetsky, repeated this here. Why? So that you're fluent in the Haggadah. So that when you sit down, you know what you're doing, how you're doing it. You got all the props ready for the kids, you got the candies, you got the treats, you got the whole show all set up. Then your Seder can indeed be majestic. Or do we roll into the Seder? We roll into the Seder like a Yom HaRishon. We didn't take the nap in the afternoon. We quickly pulled out some Haggadah from the cabinet, whether we know what it is or not. We didn't look at it the week beforehand. And then we sit down, and then all of a sudden we try to quickly read something on the bottom, and we try to ask a kid to say something, and you try to fish out a candy, and before you know it, the wine spills and the whole night is over. Let's listen to the words of Rav Goyin HaGadol, Rav David, Uncle David to some here, and let's learn that it's not Yom HaRishon. As we march, we prepare for the Seder. Mir Tashem, this year will truly be a Yom HaShmini, a Yom HaShleishim. We'll be able to get to that majestic day as we are preparing properly.